going right away. The defense does their job, offense comes back and does their job. So now they're just going to look to continue that momentum on both sides of the ball.
Yep, so like you said, Dan, it's about close to an hour, up 54, right, for us to get here. But if you're back home in Mount Carmel watching or anywhere in the nearby communities, make sure you remember tonight's sponsor, Cinnamon Sticks in Mount Carmel. I'm going to head over there. From what I'm told, they have the best acai bowl this side of the Mississippi. So Jagodinski's kick is going to be taken by LeBaron at the 19, and there won't be much for him to do, although he does do a nice job fighting forward to get across the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 defenders.
Yeah, LeBaron played that tough. He took a couple shots pretty early on in that return and kept his leg drive going and kept moving forward and did a good job kind of pulling a couple guys ahead and getting them in a pretty decent starting field position here.
So we talked about this defender team being young. So the quarterback is a junior. That's going to be Ryan Newton, number 7. Your programs may say 12, but we were informed of a jersey change tonight. Yeah. So he's a big kid. He stands at 6'4", and you can see it. I mean, that's sometimes guys are listed at 6'4", and you go, I don't know. But certainly Newton is that big. Hands off to Sam Hall, who's dropped in the backfield for a loss of 2.
Yeah, that right side defensive end, I didn't get to see if it was Belichick or Bailey, but they did a good job of getting upfield and turning that play back in. And Ferrano, again, coming from his safety spot, playing like an extra linebacker, came up and was able to stop that one for a loss. It's not very often you can see safeties make tackles for losses, unless they're on a designed blitz or something like that.
A little more open look here from the defenders. It's going to be, that's Hall, Marr, and Betts, I believe, split out. So they try to run a little rocket screen, and Belichick makes a terrific read on that one, comes up and blows it up before it can start.
Wow, that was that was an incredible play by Belichick. Not only did he take on the lead blocker for the screen, he pushed the blocker back into the receiver and almost tackled both of them. He was able to shed the blocker at the end, but grabbed a hold of the receiver and made the tackle. It was a great job.
3rd and 15 now from the 21. They'll send Allison out. And again, that we'll see how open they grow, the defenders. That's Ulrich to the left. It's Marr to the right. Newton goes right back, and he's going to throw it. There's some miscommunication there, but a great play. Excuse me, that's 33. Sam Hall, we talked about him a little bit before, went up and took the ball out of the sky.
Yeah, Newton made a good throw there. He threw the ball inside, so because Verano had over-the-top leverage in defense there. But on 4th and short, we're going to see what the defenders decide to do here.
When this is, I think we've already been, I've been bitten, Dan, by our vantage point tonight. I did not see Hall.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's a miscommunication. I thought that was a little high. He was looking for Ulrich out there, but a great play by Hall. Nevertheless, LeBaron's going to roll out and punt, and it's blocked by Nestico. And Nestico's going to try to get this on the bounce. Oh, goes through the wickets. And it's going to roll into the end zone, so Nestico's going to wind up with a touchdown anyway. His second in 2 weeks, Dan. Yeah. So a great play there by the Red Tornado special teams, and it's 13-0 with 7:03 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Jim, you know, watching the tape the last few weeks of the defenders, last week against Hamburg, week 1 against Muncie, it looked like their punt team, their whole punt lineup and everything kind of took a little bit to develop. So I was wondering if Coach Dara was going to send some pressure tonight. He did, and it paid off. And like you said, Nestico, the offensive tackle, defensive tackle, 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Pretty impressive.
It's a low snap, but Verano does a good job getting it up. And Jagodinski will squeeze that over the crossbar, so it's 14-0. Nice job all around there from a special team standpoint for Mount Carmel.
Yeah, that was a really good save by Verano, getting that off the short hop there and getting it down in the block for Jagodinski to put it through. So that was just a really good defensive stand there for the Big Red. Forcing another 3 and out, getting the pump block, the special teams play. You know, we'll talk about it pretty much every week, or at least I will. Special teams and turnovers. Usually the team that wins those two parts of the game comes out on top of the game, except for in last night's Bills-Rams game.
We're looking out here at the stadium again. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility here. It's a beautiful night for football. You know, the Red Tornadoes have so far thrown a touchdown, and they had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. You think about when these two teams met last October back in Mount Carmel, there were 5 different Red Tornadoes who scored a rushing touchdown. Agatinski's kick is to Hall, who takes it around the 5, and it's Farinato and Widener and Reed will wrap that one up right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's a really good job on the kick coverage there because, you know, we talked about last week the kickoff that was returned for a touchdown by Dunmore against the Big Red last week. You want to come in and focus on that special team stuff, especially this week, coming off of that little you know, probably missed assignment or something last week. You want to be able to make sure you stay in your lanes and focus on really good kickoff coverage this week.
So Hall is split out wide. Mars to the short side of the field. They're going to hand it to him on a reverse. The Red Tornadoes are there. He does a nice job getting upfield. Just too many white jerseys, Dan. He'll pick up a yard.
And that looked like Reed and Chicatano kind of combining for the tackle there. It was a good job of flowing to that play. There was you're right. That was kind of a student body left. They had a tight end and a flexed back over there. The running back led that way, and you bring the speed sweep, but the Big Red snuffed it out quick.
Diaz comes up in press coverage and drops back. Red Tornadoes move, but do a good job getting back. And what a play by Belichick. He meets Allison in the hole and drops him for a gain of a yard.
Yeah, it's a really good job there by Belichick on the rock and roll trap. That's what we used to call that one, the fake pitch, the inside handoff coming back the other way, that rock and roll trap. It's a well-designed play, but Belichick snuffed it out pretty quick.
So we just passed the halfway mark in the first quarter. Again, 14-0 Red Tornadoes. It's 3rd and 7 for the defenders from the 23-yard line. A 3-receiver set to the right, with LeBaron behind Newton. And it's going to be a screen set up to the left, but the Red Tornadoes are all over that. That's Bailey, first man on scene. And it's going to be a loss. Looks like where they're going to put this back to, Dan. They're going to put it back, all the way back to the 14-yard lines. That's going to be a loss of 9.
Yeah, Farinato and Bailey did a really good job getting over there and reading that right away and making a good play on the ball.
I was looking at the wrong official. It's back to the 18. So it's a loss of 5. It's going to bring up 4th and 11. Barron's punt again, almost blocked this time by Bailey, but it is a good punt. Verano that time takes the fair catch. 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes from the 46, which I think I've said before.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jim, I think that's pretty. If the Red Tornadoes defense can continue to do this, that's going to be. They're not going to go very far into their own territory to start their drives. So it's pretty impressive that this is their 3rd offensive drive now, or correct me when I'm wrong there, Jim. 2nd offensive drive, and they've both started. They've both started less than 60 yards away from the end zone.
You got 2 touchdowns already. It's reasonable to think This is the 3rd drive. This time it'll be Diaz off the left side. Nice play made by Betts to hold him up and make sure he can't get any further. Actually, that was 82 Ulrich, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a good job, but that was a good run by Diaz, just, you know, kind of feeling his way through the short side of the field here and being able to get it, pick through a little bit and get a nice gain out of it.
Diaz, one of those players that had, one of those 5 players that had a touchdown in last year's matchup. And there the Red Tornadoes will pick up a free 5. And Danny, we talked about it a lot. Diaz, the explosiveness that he brings to the game. Last season against Warrior Run, he had 3 carries for 92 yards and a touchdown.
That's pretty explosive. That's impressive. And that was without Diaz being kind of the featured back last year. So
Sure.
this year, getting more carries and stuff like that, he's going to be looking to eclipse that 100-yard mark. I can tell you that.
Spears is going to keep this one himself, and he has just all kinds of open field in front of him. He'll cross the 30. Again, we haven't had a whole lot of offensive plays yet, Dan, so we haven't talked about it a whole lot. But again, that push that offensive line gives him is something else.
It's unbelievable, Jim. It looked like there was a hole there that you could have driven a truck through. So Spears saw it right away and pulled it down and made a nice run out of it.
And again, left to right, that line goes Shimko, Geary, Langton, Nestico, and Kelly. Incomplete. Spears pass, and it's somewhere between Verano and Farinato.
Yeah, so it was either over Farinato's head or a little too short for Verano, but it was kind of a two-tiered route there, underneath and an over-the-top guy, and it got a little bit in between. I'm not sure who it was supposed to go to, but they were both open. So Spears made the right read. Just unfortunately, the throw sailed or fell short.
When we talked to Coach Dara before the season, he was so effusive in his praise of Spears and his reads and what he saw from him in the offseason. And you see plays like that where he's got a lot of responsibility there, even for a quarterback, in terms of, so we see Diaz in, out, and now it's a sprint, and he's not going to lose that one. So just like that, before we can even stop talking about the last play, Diaz is in from 26 yards out, and it's 20-0 Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Jimmy, give a lot of credit to Jacob Schultz downfield. Diaz made that move to the outside, and Schultz was the one down there right around the 10-yard line that was able to seal the edge off and let him get down there. So good job by the tight end getting down there and getting out in front and staying with his blocks all the way down the field.
While the Red Tornadoes are lining up here, just to finish that thought before on Spears, Dan, when you talk about he's doing his pre-snap reads for sure, and then there's also the fake to Diaz on those plays, right? So he's looking at Diaz, gives him a little shoulder fake, and then he's got to get back into where his receivers are and pick him back up. So it's really impressive as Jagodzinski goes 3 for 3 tonight thus far. It's 21 zip Mount Carmel.
Yeah, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Big Red. This is where they wanted to be at, making this trip here to Warrior Run, getting a quick start, getting points on the board early, and really being able to work on some stuff. Spears has been able to throw the ball a good bit, and they've got Diaz working. I'm sure at some point, we haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure at some point tonight you're going to see Luke Blessing out there in the backfield. A lot of guys getting their carries and being able to kind of just feel their way around on this nice new turf field here that defenders have.
And like I said, seeing this turf and this facility, it makes me think of back at the Silver Bowl, right? And so one thing, that goes on at the Silver Bowl for sure, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, is they have the Red Tornado Legacy Brick Project, right? And that's, in the end zone closest to Boyers there, where the creature bleachers used to sit. You've got that big water jet tornado, and that's surrounded by the 12 by 12 inch blocks, and then outside of that are the 4 by 8 inch bricks. And what you can do, as we see the return here from Hall that time, what we can do there is you can head out to redtornadofootball.com, scroll past our pictures, and on the right side of this page, click on that, and you can go and you can order one of those bricks. And why would you want to order one of those bricks? Well, a couple reasons, right? Number one, you can get them engraved, right? We got one this summer. The Lesko family, it looks great. Go Big Red, in Memorial, whatever you want to put on there, you can take that. You get to be a part of it, right? At the Silver Bowl, you get to be there. It's such an iconic place in the local communities that you can have a brick there with your and your family's name on it, and then you're also it's a double contribution because you get all that, I guess maybe a triple, and then you're also contributing to the general upkeep of the stadium there. So it's kind of a win-win-win for everybody. Nice run by Allison over the 20. So it's good for everybody there, but you got to do it quick because the next brick orders are going in October 1st. So you only got a couple weeks. If you do that, they can get them ordered and installed before the winter comes. But if you miss October, you got to wait all the way till May So make sure you head out to redtornadofootball.com. Check out all the fun stuff going on there, but get to the Brick Project and get those orders in within the next couple weeks so you can be part of it as well. Second and 7 from the 23. And that one's up the middle again. And that's Allison. Stopped by Chicatano. How did Verano get up there that fast?
I'm telling you, Jim, these guys at safety play. It's like they're shot out of a cannon. As soon as they read run, they're up there and they're making plays at the sometimes at the first level, but always at least at the second level of defense there. But we talked about they keep going to Allison there. They had a little bit of success on the first down play with a short gain, another short gain here. So they like hitting those quick hitters to the up back.
Looks like we should mention 61 Jack Roberts in there over the nose right now. And Newton's going to throw, and he takes a shot from Chicatano, and he'll miss LeBaron. It's going to bring up 4th and 4. And we'll see the punt team yet again for the defenders.
Yeah, Chicatano came free there. No, it didn't look like he got touched. I'm not sure if they were trying to set up a screen play, and that's why he got in so quickly.
Yeah.
But he did a good job getting his hands up and getting a hit on Newton to where it was impossible for Newton to make an accurate throw.
This one's a low snap, so LeBaron's going to do a nice job to get that kickoff.
Yeah, he did.
And Farinato's going to take that right at midfield for a fair catch. But my goodness, I thought that was going to be danger for the defenders.
Yeah, that was a tough one there for the Big Red, because you see that snap bounce. So immediately you're looking, go get the ball. And you're right, a lot of credit to the punt team there. They held their blocks off long enough, and the punter was able to make one quick move and get a decent punt off to spare their team a little bit of yardage.
Now, for those of you that have been watching the Red Tornadoes and Coach Darra's tenure, this looks more familiar to you, as Widener takes a snap and goes right over the center. I'll get near a first down. That's the shotgun double wing set, where again we talked about those big boys up front in Shimko, Geary, Langton, Nestico, and Kelly. But the tight ends will come in, where we saw Chicatano on the wing and Schultz split out. They'll come in tighter. You insert Widener and you remove either Farinato or Verano. Yep. And to your credit, Dan, Mr. Blessing on site.
Yeah, and usually when you want to pound the rock, that's the guy you go to. You let Diaz get the ball in space, and you let Blessing eat up the middle.
2nd and a yard. This is going to be Farinato, who had 2 rushing touchdowns last week in the win against Dunmore. He's down to the 30 for Red Tornado first down as we come under. Well, we will be under a minute here once they set the ball.
Yeah, that's a really good job there by Farinato. We talk about that play all the time, that inside trap coming back. It's really just a read play for Farinato. Wherever his blockers decide to push their guy is where he goes. That was more inside. He came up the middle and worked outside.
And there's Blessing. Nice move from Blessing. He's inside, he's outside, and he's got a first down. Looks like they'll mark the ball at the 17.
Yeah, the Red Tornadoes just moving the ball at will right now. I mean, a 9-yard gain followed by a 10+, followed by 10+. They're doing a really good job, and I think they're looking to put another score up here before the quarter ends.
Farinato will come to the sideline, and Verano will spell him there. So we'll see if they go to Verano with that inside. Spears to throw, and he's got Schultz in the middle, and it's a touchdown. Red Tornado. Spears to Schultz from 17 yards out with 6 seconds left in the first quarter. It is 27-0 Mount Carmel.
Yeah, that's such a well set up play. You're having so much success running the ball, and then you come back with the little play action, and again down the seam. That play action holds those linebackers as Schultz is able to get behind them, and right over the seam there, right in the middle of the field, Spears does a great job delivering a strike. He put a little zip on that one to get it in there to Schultz for the 6.
It's a good snap and a good hold, and Jagodzinski is good again, so he's 4 for 4 tonight, and it's 28-0 Mount Carmel. So again, Dan, we want to just thank everybody for watching wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this. Maybe it's right now you're watching live from home in Mount Carmel. Maybe it's Wednesday night on Service Electric. We appreciate their partnership.
Yep.
Or any other time. Thanks for being with us, for spending your Friday night here watching your Big Red Tornadoes. Again, we can do this thanks to the efforts of the WKMC TV studio, the student-run TV studio, and then for tonight especially, the generous sponsorship from Cinnamon Sticks in Mount Carmel.
Yeah, this is it's a great atmosphere here on a Friday night. Friday night in the fall, late summer. This is where would you rather be, Jim?
Yeah, it's in a good place where I don't feel bad not having shorts on. It's not so hot that I wish I had shorts on.
Yeah.
But it's also not so cold that I thought, I need a sweatshirt.
Yeah. This is a great atmosphere. You got the sun setting here, and the lights are on this beautiful Warrior Run, newly renovated field, and the Red Tornadoes are playing tough.
Another good kick from Yagodinsky. And Hall decides that he's going to let that one bounce into the end zone, and then it almost didn't.
Yeah.
It almost didn't.
Yeah, that took a left turn when it hit the ground, and kind of made Hall a little nervous.
It did.
But as he tried to get back after it, it eventually did roll into the end zone for the touchback here. So the defenders are going to start right at the 20.
And what's really fortunate here, when you think about last week too, Dan, one thing, when you have a guy like Yagodinsky, a younger player, right?
Yeah.
Drew is he's only a sophomore,
yep.
And he's got a pretty big responsibility in these kicking duties. So last week he had the opportunity, he goes 4 for 5 last week kicking extra points. He's 4 for 4 tonight. He's getting a lot of opportunities to work on his kickoffs as Newton's pass falls incomplete in a host of Red Tornadoes. It looks like Verano's down on the play.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little convergence there at the ball to, routes kind of meeting at the same spot in the middle of the field there. And Verano did a really good job contesting the throw and defending there. Just looked like he got banged up a little bit.
So while they check in and tend to Verano on the field, one thing, Dan, that we didn't talk about the last 2 weeks, and I'm kind of remiss in not, I kind of feel terrible about that, is we got Supper Club, man.
Yeah.
We have had 3 weeks of Supper Club now already on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. in the back room at Matucci's. And again, for those of you that aren't familiar, you want to make sure you get there. You want to get there early. I've heard seating is at a premium, as you would expect it to be, with the great food, and it's great to see Verano up and jogging off the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a chance to go down there. You meet some players, some coaches, cheerleaders, band members. You get a chance to talk to just about everybody. And most importantly, you get some keen insights from Coach Dara on the upcoming, on Friday night's game. So
you get some insights from Coach Dara, and then, as always, you get a little Red Tornado trivia from Jose usually there. Always like to catch what the trivia question is every week, and if we don't get to make it to Supper Club, like to try and find out what that is.
Did you see it this week?
Not yet.
There's your rock and roll trap. That'll end the first quarter. That one was to Stone. Excuse me, to Allison. We'll get over the 20 for a gain of a yard. But again, at the end of the first quarter, tonight's WKMC TV broadcast brought to you by Cinnamon Sticks has seen the Red Tornadoes jump out to a 28-0 lead.
Jim, I do have the trivia question from this week.
I had a feeling when I mentioned it that you might suddenly remember it.
Yeah. So for those of you out there, I'll give you the question here, and then maybe in the second half you got to stick around for the answer if you don't know it. But the last time MCA completed at least 10 passes in back-to-back games was in 2013, when 23 did it 5 consecutive games. With 23, 5 consecutive games in midseason. So who was the quarterback that threw the passes in those games?
So they completed 10 or more passes in 5 straight games in 2013?
Yes.
So if you know who the quarterback was in 2013, should have no problem solving this one.
You should have no problem with it, but.
I mean, it's not really fair. I saw the trivia question.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw it too, and I know who the quarterback was. Because, little hint for those of you out there, he was also the quarterback in 2012 that I played with. So
we'll go a little further and wonder if he or his brother are listening tonight.
yeah, that'd be nice.
But here we go. We'll start the second quarter, 2nd and 10 from the 20. Verano back in there already. Newton's going to throw the swing pass to LeBaron. Nice job of blocking out there by, trying to see if that's Ulrich. Yeah, it's Ulrich out there. Does a really nice job locking up the Red Tornado defender.
You're right, Jim. That was a real good job there, and a good job by LeBaron holding on to that ball. Looked like that he got held up a little bit, and the Red Tornado defenders were trying to rip at it. Really good ball security there to hang on to that one, but it is going to force another defender punt.
LeBaron gets his team set. He takes the snap. That one was a low snap. Verano takes it on a hop, and he's going to get hit hard. That was awkward. And he pops right up. Of course he does. He's a tough kid.
Yeah, very tough kid. But yeah, it looked like he was trying to step away from a would-be tackler there, and the defenders, number 64, coming down on that punt. 64 is Jalen Hall from an offensive line spot on the punt team there, and put a nice hit on him.
And I think that was Bailey who was providing some pressure on LeBaron off the left side.
Yeah, Bailey and Chicatano are both coming from the end spots, and they're doing a really good job of kind of forcing LeBaron to get that off a lot faster than he'd like to.
So the ball will sit at the 45. The Red Tornadoes are going to open back up a little bit here. They send Blessing in motion. Spears is going to hit him with the swing pass. Does a nice job getting past the first tackler. And the second and the third. He's somehow still on his feet. My goodness, what an individual effort by Blessing to get a first down and a little bit more. See exactly where he stepped out. Looks like they're going to say at the 31, so it's a gain of 14.
Yeah, that is a really good job there by Blessing. Caught the pass a little awkwardly, was able to get his footing while being pursued. Little bit of a hesitation move to get the edge, and then just really good effort to step out of a couple tackles and that little spin move he put on there to turn that into a first down.
Same look from the Red Tornadoes. Spears to throw. Now he's got Farinado. Incomplete. Good coverage there by the defenders. Looked like the contact got there right as the ball did.
Yeah. Some would say maybe even before the ball did, Jim, but that's a really good job. Carter Moore, number 2, right on Farinado's back as that ball got there. Was able to knock that one away.
I'll bring up 2nd and 10, 10:57 left in the second quarter. Red Tornadoes up 28-0 here at Defender Stadium on the campus of Warrior Run High School. We're out in Turbotville. As the Red Tornadoes seek their first 3-0 start since 2011. That's a quicker one to Farinado, who does a nice job making that first defender miss and picks up the first down.
Yeah, that's a good job there. I like that, going right back to Farinado after the incompletion on the last play. It was really well defended. Get right back to him, and it's another Red Tornado first down inside the red zone.
And that's what we were talking about before, Dan. We give Jose all the credit for keeping us in the loop on these stats and figures. This is Blessing. Down to around the 5, so a nice run there. But Coach Darrett only had has only had the Red Tornadoes 2-0 once before this game, and he's never had them at 3-0. So certainly well on their way to that tonight. At least a good start.
Yeah, Jim, that run there by Blessing was, again, impressive. He just kept his legs driving and stayed on his feet, kept fighting for extra yards. And at the end of that play, all 11 defenders were either on that pile or very close to it.
defenders is right up there with Reed's Reed.
Yeah, yeah.
Look how wide they split out Schultz and Verano on this one to get that corner. And they'll throw it over the middle to Chicatano. The tight end pop pass makes it 24-0. 5-yard completion, Spears to Chicatano. Spears' third touchdown pass of the night.
Yeah.
He's got 6 on the season already, Dan.
Yeah, Spears is looking good. He's in a really good rhythm. And again, the play action, Jim. I thought Blessing had the ball until I saw Chicatano come down with it in the back of the end zone. So the play fakes in the backfield have been very, very well designed and well put together there.
Agazinski's good again, 35-0, Mount Carmel.
Now we'll see here for the defenders. What they decide to do here on offense. They haven't really been able to get anything going. The one drive where I think they had the most success was when they went with the up back early on. You know, they were trying getting the fullback involved with some quick hitters. He was able to get a couple 2-3 yards at a clip. So we'll see if they decide to attack the inside of that Red Tornado defense again, you know, on quick hitters, or if they decide to kind of open things up and throw the ball, because they have the ability to do both.
When you look at the defender sideline, and it's not a small team from a number standpoint. Like they're fine. Only 6 seniors, so that kind of gets to the point we were making earlier. Coach Zekman, he knows where his team stands.
Yeah.
And he's really this is a year they're focusing on getting guys as many opportunities to be successful as possible.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. Get guys the reps.
And Jagodinski's kick, oof. I mean, that's in the end zone by the length of the football, I think, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. One of these times, he's gonna take that gamble, and it's not gonna pay off for him. And a Red Tornado is gonna end up with that ball at the 1 yard line.
And I know we talk about the conversations we have with Coach Dara a lot, and I talk about them because I feel like it's important to stress just how appreciative we are, and he's always very open and honest with us.
Yeah.
And one of the things he told us when we talked to him was, we think we're going to get some touchbacks out of Jagodzinski this year.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we've seen a few.
Yeah, we have, and not just this week.
Right.
We've seen a good bit here over the past few weeks, and the kid's got a leg on him, and he's getting his accuracy down as well with those extra points. He's doing a really good job.
Timeout defenders there. They'll take their first timeout. The ball rests at their 20-yard line. They trail 35-0 with 9:50 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, a lot of time left here, Jim. So this game's not yet out of reach for the defenders.
No, we want to talk about, again, we talked about the stadium, about the brick project and how you can get involved with that. But don't forget, there's other ways, too. We also have the Education Association that always supports us. That, you know, they support us, they support your students, and you can support them. You can do that through gifts, trusts, and other bequeaths, anything you want to do there. You can kind of help maintain a meaningful and effective learning culture, right? By providing those opportunities, whether it's education, arts, athletics, kind of whatever you're into. And the cool thing about those donations that you make to the Education Association is you have the opportunity to kind of denote where they go.
Yeah.
Right? So you can say, hey, I want to give it to the football team, the cheerleaders, the band, the TV studio, hint, hint. And you can do that, you know, for your own good, by your family, in honor of a loved one, in memoriam, however you want to do that. If you're interested, go to www.mca.k12.pa.us, or you can call 570-339-1500 for more details. Nice swing pass there to Hall. Takes a stick from Fesniak. He's in there for his first couple reps of the night, but not before picking up a first down.
Yeah, and they do decide to put the ball in the air. With you saw Newton there kind of go to his helmet as he was in the shotgun. He read the defense, and it looked like he made the decision that he wanted that swing pass, and it paid off.
Get valuable reps, of course. We talked about Newton. He's a big kid, just a junior. So Coach Zekman's got him for another year after this one even. He's going to throw again right off that foot. It's a good throw. And Verano has the football, and he's into the end zone. Now that happened quick.
That ball must have bounced up
That would
out of the receiver's hands.
Yeah, that's on the far side of us. That couldn't have been anything other than a pick six.
Yeah, and that's a great job there by Verano. And we saw his acrobatic tip drill catch in week 1 against North Schuylkill for a big touchdown, and there a tip drill pick 6 to take that one back to the house.
And credit the official on the far side. I don't know who that was, but he was right there on top of everything. Jagodzinski's good again. So now we're 9:34, and it's 42-0 Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and just as the defenders get a first down, they seem to be moving in the right direction. The Red Tornadoes defense says not so fast and takes that one back the other way for a quick 6.
And that's an unfortunate turn of events, like you said, Dan. You get the nice completion to the left, you get a completion to the right.
Or so they thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And Newman seems to be, he's recognized that he's got to kind of accelerate that internal clock he has.
Yeah.
That ball is coming out as he hits his back foot. And again, while I don't know that he's been officially sacked as of yet.
Not yet.
He's taken enough shots to know that the boys are coming.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're right. You talked about how young this team is. There's a lot of underclassmen. So Newton, even though he's a junior, one of the more veteran guys on this team, and he does a good job. He's got a lot of he knows how to kind of stick it in there and play tough.
Jagodzinski's figuring this out. That one didn't stay in the end zone. It bounced in, hit, and came back out.
And I don't think it even got inside the line. I think it hit the goal line and bounced back out.
So credit to him having a heck of a night. Extra points and touchbacks, and what more can you ask for from your sophomore kicker?
Yeah, that's the truth, Jim. 6 for 6 on extra points so far. That's a pretty good start. About as good as it can get.
So we talked about Fesniak being in there for Diaz, on one corner for Spears. And it looks like now Farinato's is going to move up to the other corner where Diaz was, and it'll be number 1 Chase Bulicic in at the safety position. 72 Maddox Lamas in there for the Red Tornadoes on the defensive line as well.
Yeah, we see there's a little bit of movement, kind of moving guys around here. The Red Tornadoes doing a good job keeping fresh guys in there.
Yeah, there was some movement on that Red Tornado defensive side that'll cost them 5 yards there on an offside penalty.
Yeah, you mentioned this beautiful turf out here. It's always hotter out on the turf, so they're doing a good job keeping fresh bodies in there.
Oh my goodness, what a run. Colby LeBaron, he's gonna score from 75 yards out, and I wish we had the replay, Dan, because I don't know who that was, but there was a defender carrying him for about the first 10 yards of that play and then pushed him off the way you might help your kid ride a bike.
Yeah, we've got a flag. I believe we've got something going on with the officials here.
It looks like a sideline infraction by the...
And that is tough.
So this is going to come. But isn't that a sideline infraction?
It's either Jim. It could be a illegal. And what is that? An offensive?
That is helping a runner.
Yes.
Interlocked blocking. That's what that is.
That is exactly. And just as you mentioned, you said they were pulling LeBaron forward and assisting him, and unfortunately for them, you can't do that. You can get behind and push. You cannot. I don't believe you can grab and pull.
I mean, it was pretty obvious, a grab and a pull.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I said, it reminds me of when I'm teaching my daughter how to ride a bike. I was kind of behind her, then you go, okay, now you go.
Yeah.
And
right.
That's kind of what it was. But so a little nevertheless, though, you know, maybe the defenders lose the points on that particular run, but they get to keep the excitement.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. You get the excitement, and you tire out the Red Tornado defenders that had to chase him 75 yards down the field there.
I like it. Now Newton to throw. And he looks, and he's got Ulrich, a nice pitch and catch there, so it'll be a first down.
Yeah, he did a really good job of throwing Ulrich open there. That looked like there was somebody, a Tornado defender in the flat. So if Newton would have thrown that ball inside, it could have easily been intercepted. He threw it to Ulrich's outside shoulder and allowed him to make the reception and get the first down.
First and 10 from the 23, 8:40 and counting. That's a handoff to, that's 42 Royals off the left side. So he'll get out to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, good job by the Red Tornado defense there. Diagnosing that one pretty quickly and getting in there to make a stop after a short gain. We'll see this defense looking to stand up here and get the offense back out on the field that has been humming.
It's a handoff up the middle. That's Royals again. Out to the 40, so it's going to bring up third and about 2. Again, 7:35 and counting now here. 42-0 Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Jim, first contact there looked like number 30, Liam Bradley, in there at one of those outside linebacker spots before that one got cleaned up.
Bradley and Belichick. Those outside linebacker defense, and they go right up the middle. And what a play by Jagodzinski. They give it to Royals again to see if he can get that first down. And that time it wasn't Royals. That one was back to Allison. And it's a first down.
Yeah, he did get it.
Defenders.
So the defenders putting together a nice drive here. And like I mentioned earlier, Jim, after the pick 6 here now, they decided to open it up and try to throw the ball on the last drive. This drive, they're just trying to run the ball right up the middle, and they're having a little bit of success doing it.
Again, it's a great night for football. It's a great view wherever you are. I know I heard we got some viewers, some watchers up in Jim Thorpe, so shout out to everybody out in Jim Thorpe. Appreciate you spending the night with us. Newman's going to swing it out to Allison. Nice play there. He'll get across the 45.
Yeah, this defender's offense looking to really start to hit their stride. They're kind of finding their groove here and doing a good job of keeping the ball moving in the right direction.
Ball sits at the 48-yard line. Newton, and that's back to Royals, 42. He'll get to midfield. Trying to see who's getting off the bottom of that pile. That's Reed. Reed and looked like Belichick Chase was in on that one as well. And again, we talk about it all the time. When Diaz came out and Belichick went in, Farinata moved up to the corner slot. Belichick takes the safety.
Yeah.
And Belichick's making tackles and run support.
Yeah, these safeties are very good. They're very good.
Big play made by the other Belichick. That's Matt Belichick. Nice tackle in the backfield. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's a great job there by Matt Belichick. I think he was coming from the opposite outside linebacker spot. He came all the way across.
Yeah, I think he's moving. To your point before, you talked about that rock and roller trap.
Yeah.
I think he's moving with that with that slot man that's coming in motion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And he's doing a good job of it. This Red Tornado defense now forcing a fourth down, and it looks like the defenders going to go for it here. After they talk it over a little bit.
Take a quick timeout. Clock will stop with 4:19 left in the first half. It's 42-0 Red Tornadoes. 4th and 6 for the defenders on their own 47. Have shown signs of life on this drive. Again, certainly had what they thought was a 75-yard touchdown run by LeBaron. It was called back due to the illegal helping of a runner, which is just an interesting call in general. It's the right call, but it's an interesting one nonetheless.
Yeah,
And, you know, and they've kind of been able to capitalize somewhat on that energy, that excitement that you felt in the stadium.
Yeah, and you talk about Coach Zeckman, too. I think this is a really, really smart move by Coach Zeckman, letting that play clock wind down to 1 second and then calling that timeout, because this is the first drive that you finally have been able to capture a little bit of that momentum and put something together and have a consistent, you know, lengthy drive. So you want to take as much time as possible to talk this over on this big fourth down play, which is going to determine whether you continue this drive.
Newman's going to come out in the shotgun. He'll have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That'll be 4 wide. It'll be 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Newman's going to look. Now he's going to run. He's rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it in the direction of... Falls incomplete. That was Carter Marr he was looking for. But it'll be incomplete. Turnover on downs for the defenders. Mount Carmel will take over 1st and 10 at the 47.
Yeah, that was a really good job there defensively. Newton didn't have his first option to go to, so he had to kind of step up in the pocket, take a little bit extra time, and wasn't able to get that throw out there. And now we get to see this Red Tornado offense back out on the field.
And it looks like there's some changes, so we'll have to talk about those, Dan. Belichick's in there right now as the snap goes to Widener, and he's still on his feet, down to about the 35.
Yeah, he did a good job there. Looked like he was going to be brought down immediately after taking that snap. He made a little jump stop there. Looked like a small forward, and was able to keep moving forward for a first down. It's really nice play there.
So we've got, we talked about number 2, Matthew Belichick in there at quarterback, 18, Jacob Zarsky in at the tailback position. And it's Zarsky, and there's a flag on the play for the Red Tornadoes. It's a false start on the Red Tornadoes. So it'll cost them 5, but let's try to see who else we got out there. I see number 1, Chase Belichick.
Yeah, he's in a tight end spot. I saw 28, Al Bailey went in there to spell Widener after Widener's first down carry.
55, Logan Earp. 72, Maddox Lamas. Number 70.
That's Langton.
Langton, what's he still doing in there?
He's staying in there at the center, maybe keep the snaps up. Get some reps with Belichick in there on the snaps too.
67, Delaney. Did you say Delaney?
No, I did not. So good call.
You got 12, Andrew Lukoski. This is going to be a pitch to Zarsky. He's got white jerseys in front of him. Gets to the outside. Nice play made by. I'll tell you who it is as soon as I can. Looks like number 10. I don't think it's number 10. It was a nice tackle made by the safety for the defenders. 10, Eli Butler. There he is.
Yeah, good job by Zarsky there, getting in and then out to the sideline.
They go with that snap to the up man. It's Bailey this time. Took it down to the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up.
He's going to have the first down.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what I'm trying to. We've got an interesting angle tonight, Dan.
Yeah, it is. And it is a first down.
Good call. So that'll put the ball at the 25. 2:35 left in the first half. It's 42-0 Mount Carmel.
Yeah, don't give me credit for that one, Jim. Give credit to this very nice new defenders scoreboard. Yeah, I saw the starting line of scrimmage there. Very animatronic.
Belichick keeps it himself, goes right up the middle for another first down inside the 15. And I looked, Dan, I looked to my left and my right, you know, we're in the bleachers tonight.
Yeah.
And for this ride to come up here tonight, not a lot of empty space in these bleachers.
No, there's definitely not much room, and you got a packed house for another big game. This Tornadoes team, everybody's excited about them.
Lukoski will take it around the end. He'll get down inside the 10, maybe to the 5, but there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a block in the back there. Looked like the initial indication.
Yep.
For a hold. But that was a good run there by Lukoski, unfortunately negated by the penalty. But this drive is looking good for the Red Tornadoes. They're doing a good job of doing what a normal Coach Dara offense likes to do. It's staying on schedule outside of these penalties that are getting them a little behind the sticks.
It's Zarsky again, and he weaves his way in and out. A nice job there getting back down to the original line of scrimmage.
Also, I just saw him hand battling there. Number 53, Seth Spears, I believe, in there on the offensive line as well. That left guard spot.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 15. It's Zarsky again. Does a good job jumping on it. It was a nice play made by number 72, Austin Bryson, for the defenders, who just kind of knifed through there and reached out at the ball.
Yeah, it was a really nice play there. And again, unfortunately, now the Red Tornadoes in a 3rd and very long situation here.
Clock under a minute. Belichick's going to keep this one himself. The defenders do a good job of sitting on that.
Now we'll see on a 4th down here. Do we bring out Jagodinsky to attempt a field goal? Because we know he's got the leg to kick it. Or do we let Belichick put the ball in the air?
Looks like, trying to sort the angles here. Looks like the ball's sitting on about the 18-yard line. So it's 4th and around 13. Again, we're under 30 seconds here in the first half. Belichick sends Zarsky in motion. He pitches it to him. And he's got blocking out in front of him. He fights to stay on his feet. He's not going to be able to get the first down. So the defenders will turn the Red Tornadoes over here inside the 10. It'll be 1st and 10 Warrior run from, you got a yard marker here for me, Dan, you and your good eyes all of a sudden.
Looks like the 8.
From the 8 with 14 seconds left in the first half.
And I only say the 8 because the scoreboard says the 8, Jim, so I could be right or wrong. Hopefully the scoreboard operator's got some binoculars.
Well, again, we'll talk about the nice scoreboard. You got this nice turf. All the yardage, all the hash marks and the yardages are very bright and easy to see.
Yeah, that is true.
Sometimes it just takes me a second to count them. I love the spirit from the Warrior run. You can hear they're yelling. Newton takes a knee here. Again, too deep in their own territory to really attempt anything. But that's going to run out the clock on the first half here at Defender Stadium on the campus of Warrior Run in Turbotville, Pennsylvania. The Red Tornadoes have come up Route 54 and handled business thus far in the first half. They're up 42-0. We'll be back in just a bit with the second half of tonight's game, as well as the answer to Dan's trivia question. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
sending pictures now from they seem to be all in. Only at my house she had about it. Yeah, when the kids can freeze up, I'll put my teeth into it. Did he said he was going to come to New York Kane and all. Huh?
Hello and welcome back to Defender Stadium here on the campus of Warrior Run. This is a Heartland Division III matchup tonight between the Warrior Run Defenders and the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. We finished up the first half. The Red Tornadoes scored early and often, putting up 42 points in the first half. We got a lot of fun and exciting things. We can the good news is we can kind of step through these, Dan, and then we'll give you some numbers here. So we'll start, the Red Tornadoes didn't get the ball first, right?
Right.
So we'll see them first in the second half offensively. But they did strike first with a 6-yard completion for a touchdown from Spears to Verano. From there, we went a fumble recovery off a blocked punt by Nestico.
Yep.
Diaz had a 26-yard rush for a touchdown. That made it 21-0 as Jagodzinski went 3 for 3 on the extra points. Then it was Spears to Schultz for 17. Then Spears to Chicatano for 5. It was 35-0 at that point as Jagodzinski drilled another 2 extra points. And right before the half, Verano has a 35-yard pick 6 with another Jagodzinski extra point. That's how we get to 42, Dan, but I think you've got some more detailed numbers for us thanks to our good friend Jose.
Yeah, and looking at the full breakdown of the stats here, the Red Tornadoes, 15 carries for 154 yards, 8 of 11 passing for 99 yards. So 253 yards of total offense, 12 first downs, and 42 points on the board, helped out with a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown in there as well. And then on the defender side of the ball, 15 carries for 23 yards and 7 of 18 passing for 38 yards. So the defenders, really looking to kind of turn things around here in the second half and trying to bring things back. But you mentioned the Verano interception return for a touchdown. Thanks to Jose. Thanks to Jose for the stats, and thanks to Jose for this little tidbit here. Garrett Verano ties the all-time school record for career interceptions returned for a touchdown with 3 now in his career. He ties Wally Deal, Ken Diminick, and Bob Zavaric. So congratulations to Verano. That's pretty good company to be in with. I don't know too many people that are around the Red Tornado Nation, Red Tornado alum around the football team that wouldn't recognize those names.
Yeah, I think that's always right. We talk about this program and tradition, and anytime you can be in the conversation with a Deal, as a Varick, and a Diminick, that's pretty good company for Verano. He's certainly earned it. We talked about how tough of a kid he is. So he comes from good stock.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see here what. This Red Tornado kick return here. Saw in the last 2 games that for week 1 against Muncie, the opening kickoff was almost taken back, returned for a touchdown by Muncie. Week 2 against Hamburg, the opening kickoff was returned for a touchdown by Hamburg. So we are looking to see if the Red Tornadoes are able to field one, they get an opportunity to take one back as well.
You see the start of the second half is a little bit delayed here. There's a couple cool things going on at Defender Stadium tonight. It's Armed Forces Night, and I believe it's also Youth Football Night. So There's been a lot of cool stuff happening here. Halftime ran a little bit long. Looks like we've got some students kicking. Well, they're kicking 25-yard field goals, and they've gone 2 out of 3, which is pretty darn good.
yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. These guys, like you said, with it being Armed Forces Night, get their little to do out there and have a little fun out there as well.
Yep, and hopefully, wherever you were able to enjoy the band. We always appreciate what the band has going on. I think we're about to get started here again. We'll see what it looks like for the Red Tornadoes. Special teams, when you start making changes, are always a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But
it looks like we're going to have Fesniak, Zarsky, and Lukoski as the 3 deep return guys. So we'll see if one of those guys gets the opportunity to maybe bring one back here and start the second half with some fireworks.
So we'll see who does the kicking for the defenders. It looks like, I think before we've seen perhaps Gavin Hunter, number 11, and looks like he's the man with the tee in his hand, so I feel pretty confident about that prediction.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good call there, Jim.
So again, wherever you're at tonight, whether you're, I don't know, in the Arizona desert, in the Catskills, in Western New York, and anywhere in between, we're happy you're with us. Tonight's broadcast sponsored by Cinnamon Sticks in Mount Carmel. And I know I've said it before, but it bears repeating. It's the best place you're going to get an acai bowl anywhere in the Tri-County area. So make sure you pop in there and support local businesses the way they support us. Hunter's kick. We're underway here. It's going to bounce and be taken by Fesniak. Does a nice job staying on his feet out over the 30. Across the 35, he'll be stopped. They're going to mark him to 37. Be 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes from there, and this will be, well, it'll be a brand new unit as opposed to how the Red Tornadoes started this one, but I think it looks a lot like what we had to end the first half.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jim. I see Fesniak out there along with Belichick and Zarsky and Al Bailey as the four backs in the backfield there.
Chase Belichick, he's on the tight end side closest to us. His brother, Matthew, will keep it himself up to the 44. And across the offensive line, try to get these as best we can. Again, we still got Langton out there, and I think you're right, Dan. I think that's more so from the center standpoint.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep that consistent. 55, Logan Erb, 72, Maddox Lamas. 30, Liam Bradley's the opposite tight end. 53 is Seth Spears.
I think we had 67 in there.
67,
Delaney.
Yager Delaney. This is Fesniak. A little trouble with the handoff, but does a nice job pulling it back in. He'll have a first down with the ball stopped at midfield.
Jim, you know, Fesniak is shifty.
He
when he gets the ball, he looks almost like Diaz when he gets the ball. He kind of moves the same way that Diaz does, just able to kind of plant and get going up to speed again wherever he wants to.
This time it's Zarsky. He'll get down to the 45, and Dan, we've known Jacob a long time, and it's kind of funny to see him in this role.
Yeah.
In that he's kind of the power back out there right now.
Yeah, he is. You're right. We talked about Fesniak, how he's kind of shifty like Diaz. Right. Zarsky kind of playing the Luke Blessing role right now. You know, getting the carries up the middle, along with Belichick.
Zarsky shifty in his own right, but that'll go to Bailey. And Bailey's going to stay on his feet. He's dragging half the defense with him. He'll get down to the 41. It's going to bring up 3rd and about a yard.
Yeah, that's a really, really tough run there by Bailey. He kind of got stacked up and was able to spin away from a couple guys to turn that into a bigger gain than it should have been, Jim.
We'll see which direction Coach Dara opts to go here on 3rd and short. And they're actually going to get to 5 yards. So it looks like the defenders crossed the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They are going to get to 5, and that's going to be a first down. So don't have to make the tough 3rd down decision here.
Now, I know I'm playing with fire here, Dan, but it's been a couple weeks since I've got an offside false start penalty wrong.
Yeah, you've been pretty consistent. It's odd.
It's something I work at. Zarsky again right up the middle, tough run down to the 25. That'll be should be enough for a first down.
And he was right up the back there of Liam Bradley. Did a good job following his blocker right through the hole.
The 25 would have been enough for a first down, but alas, they marked him down at the 24, or excuse me, the 26. So it's going to be 2nd and a yard. This is Fesniak. Does a nice job eluding the first tackler, but he's going to be thrown down by Allison. It's a nice play there made by the defenders on 2nd and short to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and it pushes him back a little bit here. You're right. Fesniak made the first guy miss deep in the backfield, but Allison still had a little bit of penetration there from the defensive side of the ball and got into the backfield there and made a nice play, kind of just grabbing on to Fesniak and not letting him get away.
So the clock approaches 8 minutes here, Dan. I think maybe at the conclusion of this play, might not be a bad idea to get back to that trivia question before either one of us forgets.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Belichick has the 1st down and more. Still on his feet, dragging defenders with him. 1st down to, I'm going to mark that about the 12.
Yeah, Belichick looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. He hit full speed very quickly and ran a couple guys over on his way to that 1st down. But, yeah, back to the trivia question.
The trivia was, again, the last time the Red Tornadoes completed 10 or more passes in 2 games in a row was 2013, when they actually did it 5 straight games.
And the quarterback at the helm then was none other than Zach Wasilewski. You know, we talked about maybe Zach or his brother, if they're out there, or his brother Marcus, were out there watching. But both of those guys, very, very talented former Mount Carmel quarterbacks. Yeah, Zach Wasilewski is the answer to that little trivia question there. So thank you to Jose for always compiling the stats and hanging on to that stuff for us so that we get to remember that stuff.
There's Zarsky. He's in, he's out, and he's into the end zone. So great rush there by number 18, Jacob Zarsky. With 6:42 left in the 3rd quarter, it is 48-0 Mount Carmel. Yeah,
and that was a very well put together drive there for the Red Tornadoes. A lot of different guys touched the ball. You had Bailey, you had Fesniak, you had Belichick, and you had Zarsky. And Belichick with the big run to set him up. Zarsky, the man to finish it off for him. So really good job there on that drive.
So Dan, when we talked about the halftime stats, what were Spears' numbers again? And here we see, again, as we said before, sometimes the changes in special teams are a little more challenging. Jagodinski's kick will be wide left, so it'll stay 48-0 Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, we talked about the halftime numbers. Spears, 8 of 11 for 99 yards.
So to keep those completions going, we need 2 out of Belichick.
Yeah.
Or whoever might.
Yeah, that is true.
Whoever might spell him at some point. 1 attempt on that drive fell incomplete. But we've been talking about, you know, obviously all the fun and excitement going on here. But it's a good Friday night for football all over northeastern Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
We're having a great time. We were looking at some stats. There's some exciting, well, all exciting, some surprising. Looks like we're in the 3rd quarter here between the Loyalsock Township Lancers and the Southern Columbia Tigers. It was 13-2 Loyalsock at halftime. It's now 20-10 Loyalsock. Okay, so that's a good game, and you know, kind of talking about it there, and I'm not sure if it is 100% accurate, but people were talking about Loyalsock as being the number 5 ranked 3A team in the state of Pennsylvania this year, and that, I mean, if you look back at the game the Red Tornadoes had against the Lancers last year, that was a barn burner and a heart stopper, Jim. I think if that game would have gotten any crazier, you would have been taking me home in an ambulance. The Red Tornadoes, just to give you an idea of what the Lancers were able to do in that game, as Jagodinski's kick is going to stay in bounds. We'll see if the Red Tornadoes come up with it. The Lancers, there I go, you see? The defenders had a little trouble covering it, but it looks like they do, so it'll be 1st and 10 Warrior run from the 28-yard line. But if you think back to that game, Dan, so let me tell you that the Red Tornadoes scored over 60 points.
Yep.
And I don't believe the Lancers touched the ball in the 3rd quarter.
They did not.
And
scores?
The Red Tornadoes only won by 20.
Yes, that is correct. And the Red Tornadoes recovered 2 back-to-back onside kicks.
That was an unbelievable game.
It was. It was quite quite a show up there in Loyalsock Township last year. But anytime the Red Tornadoes come out on top, it's a good game.
Newton drops the throw, and he looks for Carter Marr. It's incomplete. It was a good pass there, but good coverage by Fesniak and Belichick.
Yeah, Jim, that was very well defended by Fesniak. He did a good job he played that like an NFL corner, just staying on the back hip and wrapping his arm around and getting his arm in the way there of that completion, because it was a very well-delivered pass there from Newton.
I think after last night, Fesniak could show Jalen Ramsey a thing or two.
I'd say so, Jim.
2nd and 10 from the 29. And that is LeBaron up the middle. And these are tough kids on the defender sideline, Dan.
Yeah, yes they are.
Looks like there's a Red Tornado down on the play. We got 5:31 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 48-0 Red Tornadoes over the defenders here on what's, we talked about the weather earlier, what's starting to cool down a little bit on us.
Yeah, it's turned into a really, really nice night for football. This is kind of more of the football weather that you expect. A little bit chilly. There's a little chill in the air. It's not too hot. Warm to start the game, but as we kind of slow things down here later into the game, it's starting to get nice and comfortable.
So we talked about that Loyalsock and Southern score. Got some other local scores. Danville kind of continues their tear that they're on. They're up 42-0 in the 3rd quarter on Central. North Schuylkill, the Red Tornadoes' Week 1 opponent that they were, the Red Tornadoes were victorious 25-17. They're up 35-0 on Pine Grove at the half.
Wow.
Montoursville and Lewisburg. Montoursville is stretched ahead now. They were down 7-6. They're now up 14-7.
Okay, that's a good game there.
And Hughesville leads Bloomsburg 7-6.
Got Hughesville and Bloomsburg on the schedule.
Yeah.
Down the road here this season, so it'll be that's a good game there for both of those teams.
Looks like number 72 Maddox Lamas was the Red Tornado down on the play. He's up, walking off under his own power. Always great to see. Red Tornadoes have a couple other changes there, it looks like, on the defensive side. On the corner on the far side is number 21. That's Bennett Williams. We see Blessing in there as one of the inside linebackers, along with number 9, Hunter Boblick.
Yep.
29, Ben Miller, outside linebacker / defensive end at this point as Newton goes back, and Blessing goes right after Newton, and it's ball is almost intercepted by Belichick, but based on the penalty flag, I think we're going to see a defensive pass interference.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate there for the Red Tornadoes, because that ball was underthrown by Newton, and it looked like the corner on that opposite side there was in really good coverage, running step for step. But it unfortunately, because the receiver stopped to come back for the ball, he ran into the receiver, and it turned into a pass interference penalty.
Belichick will be spelled by number 39, Michael Kimsel, out there at the safety slot. We talked about Jack Robert before being in there on the defensive end, or defensive line, excuse me. Looks like Yager Delaney is in there as well, doing double duty along with Herb. And they're playing both sides of the ball at this point. Newton to throw, he looks for and has that 33 Hall.
That was a really well-placed pass there by Newton, too. He hit Newton pretty much, or he hit Hall right out of his break, and kind of threw him open, threw the ball towards the sideline, let him go get it.
Again, we talked about it before, but I'm looking up and down these bleachers, Dan, and these Red Tornado fans aren't going anywhere. We got a little bit of a ride home tonight. This one seems to be in good shape as the clock ticks under 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and the Red Tornadoes on top 48-0, but nobody's heading home just yet.
They don't call them the faithful for nothing, Jim.
Newton throws a quick rocket screen. That's Hall to the other side. Gets a nice block. Gets another nice block. gets a third nice block, and he's in for a touchdown. And let me just say, all 3 blocks were from number 2, Carter Marr.
Yeah.
But that is a 50-yard pitch and catch with, again, all the work being done by Hall and Marr.
Yeah, and this time, Jim, no flags on the field for the big defender play there. So the really good job there putting that together. And you're right, it was just tremendous downfield blocking there by a fellow wide receiver.
Yeah, my goodness, that was, it almost reminded me of like, the kick is up and good. Again, Gavin Hunter doing the kicking for the defenders. But Dan, it almost reminded me of like the scene towards the end of The Water Boy.
Yeah.
When Adam Sandler's character is running, you know, he's I think he's defending, is it Guy? Is it the quarterback down the sideline?
Guy Grimwald.
Yeah, and he's throwing all those blocks, but it's just Adam Sandler doing it. That's how Carter Marr looked. He was blocking, he was blocking everybody that came their way.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Marr did a really good job. Just he'd throw one block and then another and then another.
It's 48-7 here now. 3:32 left in the third quarter. Again, we want to just thank tonight's sponsor, Cinnamon Sticks in Mount Carmel, for their patronage. Kind of helps keep things going. And we've talked about a couple different ways you can continue to support your hometown. You can support the school district. If you have any questions about exactly how to do that or you're unsure, again, you can head out to redtornadofootball.com. We've got all kinds of ideas for you out there, or just call the school, 570-339-1500. You talk to some terrific ladies that'll help you get directed exactly where you want to go and find ways to give back to a place that's given so much.
Yeah, Jim, you know, we talk about a lot this year with this Red Tornado team, and Coach Dara mentioned it to us as well, just the leadership and the maturity and how well these guys kind of mesh together. And you see very few guys sitting down on the bench, even guys from the first team that probably are done for the game, still up on that line, rooting these guys on every single play.
Nice return by Fesniak out across the 40. But no, you're right, Dan, and I think that's something else that, again, we always go back to the conversations with Coach Dara, but he's talked from the beginning of the season just about the leadership that exists on these teams. And you know, you think about it, like Coach Dara's been here a little while now, so these kids, like, they've come up through his system.
Yep.
They know what he expects at even at a junior high level. I think I saw an article in the news item where he was talking about the success that's had.
Yeah.
And the junior high team doing a lot of the same things that they do at the varsity level. And it's Kimsel, a nice run there, just tripped up. Or else he might have been off to the races too, Dan.
Yeah, that was a really, really good run there. Did a good job getting inside and then out. And that's kind of how that play's set up. You want to get inside the kick out block and then out towards the sideline. Did a really nice job for a pretty reasonable gain there.
Number 66, Gavin Demko. He's in there for the Red Tornadoes. Looks like we had a change at quarterback as well, as it's now Gavin Marshalik. I'd say under center, but Red Tornadoes, if the Red Tornadoes are under center, something's gone horribly wrong.
Right.
Marshalik hands off to Lukoski, who does a nice job getting the edge. And then he cuts back inside, and he's just tripped up by Hunter.
Yeah, that's a touchdown-saving tackle there by Hunter. Because you're right, Lukoski's got wheels, man. Once he gets the ball, he gets the corner, it's very hard to catch him. So Hunter took a good angle and made him kind of cut back inside and was able to just get his shoestrings there to make that tackle.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Mount Carmel at the 35-yard line.
You know, I think on that last drive, Jim, we had 28 Al Bailey in at the fullback spot. Now we got 29 Ben Miller in there in that spot we usually see occupied by Widener.
And
there he is.
Marshala drills Miller, and Miller's going to take it in for a touchdown from 35 yards out. My goodness, I didn't see that one coming.
No, me either. That was a really well-designed play there. Marshala delivered
Was
a
a dart.
bullet, yeah, on the run. Didn't even have to stop and plant his feet, and hit Miller. And it was perfectly placed ball too. He hit Miller. Miller did not have to slow down one step, in stride, and he was able to get the sideline and just take that one in for 6. And let's not forget to mention the 9th completion of the game.
Yeah, right. Jagodzinski comes out. And it's up and good. So again, another nice night kicking the ball for Jagodzinski, as he's going to be 7 for 8
Yeah.
thus far tonight.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from Jagodzinski or anybody else out there, but for that last extra point that he did miss, there was a new holder in.
Sure.
So now he was able to get one kick off with the new holder. Unfortunately, it was his only miss of the night. Now this one, smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter.
You like that?
I did.
You like that?
I think I liked it better when I said it a couple weeks ago.
I don't think you said that.
So let's see. Let's do a quick update here around the area. They'll have us believe, our friends at ScoreStream, that is. But it's still 20-10 over in Catawissa. Are they in Catawissa or are they in Wilsock? I'm not sure.
I think they are in Catawissa. I think Southern Columbia is at home today.
We're still there. Danville has, believe it or not, extended their lead a little bit more. It's 56-0 now.
Wow.
North Schuylkill's added another touchdown. It's 42. And it's 14-6 now. Hughesville over Bloom. They've scored another touchdown. And while I've been looking at other games, we got a new kicker for the Red Tornadoes. We had a little excitement there as the kick was dropped, but that kicking off, it was pretty nice. That was number 42, Robert Shoppy.
Yeah, that was a very good kick. It was a little bit more of a low line drive, but it got down there, and it got down there quick, and it was difficult for the returner to handle.
Now, while there's a little opportunity here to see the defense, looks like we're going to have number 7, Tate Adams, in there on a corner. Again, Bennett Williams, we talked about him before. He's on the other side. 27, Brady Wolkowski. He'll join 39, Kimzel. Those at the safety slot, so those 4 will make up the defensive backfield. Miller will stay on one defensive end. Looks like Boblick and Spears, Seth Spears, are the 2 inside linebackers.
It's a really nice play there.
The defenders have made a change at quarterback as well. Newton's out, and freshman, again, we talk about how young this team is. Freshman James Kiefer, number 16, he's in there under center at this point.
And at that left outside linebacker, Jim, we got number 26, freshman Aiden Dietz, making that tackle there for no gain.
Good eyes. And it looks like Andrew Adams is the nose tackle. 66, Gavin Demko in that left tackle. That left defensive tackle slot, excuse me. And 67, Delaney on the right side. And a nice play there by Adams. It'll be finished off by Kimzel.
Yeah, really good job there by Adams, maintaining that outside leverage as he was getting blocked there, not allowing the rusher to get inside of him, or to get outside of him, forced him back in, and was able to kind of make that play there.
And you hear the whistle there. That's the end of the third quarter. Now, one more to go here at Defender Stadium in Turbotville. But the first 3 have been pretty darn good to the Red Tornadoes. They're up 55-7.
Yeah, outside of that nice drive that the defenders put together on their last possession, it has been all Red. Fantastic job. And, you know, we've always talked about how interchangeable Coach Dara's offense and defense is. You can plug guys in there, and they know what they're doing. They know their assignments, and they do a really good job of getting involved and just keeping up and down the roster, keeping people, keeping players invested, and keeping them in the game. They all know what they're doing, and they're doing a great job of it. This defense, this offense has picked up right where the first D and first O kind of started things off.
And we talked about it in the first quarter, Dan, that the last time these 2 teams played, the Red Tornadoes were victorious. They were very, very offensive throughout that game. They had 12 different guys carry the ball. They had 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then tonight, so the Red Tornadoes have scored 8 touchdowns.
Yes.
They've got 4 through the air, a special teams on the blocked punt, a pick 6 from Verano, and only 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And so this team kind of, again, it's so interesting because this is very obviously a coach John Dara coached offense, but it looks a little bit different. As a nice individual effort there by Kiefer to keep the play alive almost results in a big completion.
Yeah, and that was the thing there. Kiefer wanted to go to his running back right out of the backfield, which was covered beautifully. So he had to kind of pull the ball down and thought he was going to run initially, which he got the defenders to commit. And then he was able to get that out. And unfortunately, it wasn't able to be hauled in. Looked like Josh Allen out there.
So it'll be fourth and about 5 with the ball resting on their own 40-yard line. The defenders opt to punt. Does not look like it's LeBaron punting, although maybe it is. Jersey didn't look like it said 21, but now it does. And he's just going to run, and he's going to pick up the first down. So a nice job reading the situation there by LeBaron, understanding that the Red Tornadoes were dropping into a return.
Yeah.
And he rolls out when he punts, so he's kind of got that head start to begin with.
Yeah, and that's something you used to see kind of in the Big 12.
TCU, I think of all the time.
Yeah, TCU used to do it a lot, and some of the other teams that had adopted it in the Big 12 as well. I remember Texas doing it for a time, but it's when you have a punter that's an athlete, you're able to kind of do that, and
Sure.
It gives them a chance. You want to get that end-over-end kick, and it also gives them the opportunity to just pull it down and run with it.
Coming into tonight, LeBaron was the team's second leading rusher. So certainly, to your point about being an athlete, he fits the bill. This time, Kiefer's pass will go out wide to number 10, Eli Butler, and he'll do a nice job fighting for yardage. Looks like there's going to be a Red Tornado down on the field.
Yeah. We'll see where they end up marking this one. Looks like he picked up about 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was a good effort.
But man, going to the wide side of the field, it looked like he got more because he was just running forever.
I'm telling you, man, it's these angles. I can't get these angles right tonight.
No, I understand. I can never get them right.
Now it's starting to get dark, and I've got a glare. It's a struggle here. But no, it's been a beautiful night here. It's a beautiful facility. Looks like it's going to keep getting better, and I think we talked about this on the way up. There's also, as I'm sure they do a lot of things, there's a pretty cool event that Warrior Run typically does in the spring for special education students. My wife being a special education teacher at Mount Carmel, she knows that very well, but it's always a pretty cool thing. It's always something to look forward to. So, again, just kudos to Warrior Run and all the things they're doing up here.
Yeah, and that was 79, Derek Smith, I believe, playing for one of those defensive tackle spots that was down on the play. Glad to see him up and getting off the field under his own power. And I think we saw number 31, Andrew Adams, check in there to take his spot.
Lukowski on one of those corners now. I don't know that he was out there before. Talking about Walkowski and Kimzel in the defensive backfield with Tate Adams. That's going to go right up the middle. That's Walkowski on the stop. As number 10, Eli Butler, on the carry.
Yeah, it was a nice run there. Got him a first down there. As we see number 13,
it's Daniel
Velasquez checking into the game here.
So he'll bring Walkowski out. First and 10 at the 32 for the defenders. That's Butler again, and he's stuck in the hole by Boblik. So a nice play there made by number 9, the sophomore linebacker.
That's one of those plays there as a linebacker that you love the opportunity to get. You get yourself at least the way that we used to talk about them were clear and cloudy reads. You get a clear read where there's a block down and a block out, and that's where the play's coming most of the time. So he did a really good job of filling and making that play in the backfield.
He and Spears are the inside linebackers. Talk about Miller and Dietz as the outside backers. That handoff, not much room there for the defenders. Let's see who there was. That might have been, looked like 22 Max Fogelman for no gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 at the 33 as we're under 8 minutes left in this one. The Red Tornadoes lead 55-7.
Yeah, this is a beautiful night for football here in Turbertville. The defenders putting together another nice drive here. But the Red Tornado defense holding strong. Put them in a pretty tough position here on 3rd and long.
Kiefer to throw. And that's a tough one because there's a lot of nonsense going on in front of him.
Yeah,
Blue and white jerseys, and he threw to a spot. It falls incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, and I think he was looking to get that to Fogelman out of the backfield there, who just got slowed up a little bit and did a really good job of making that stop. Or it threw off the timing just enough. The Red Tornado defense did a good job. And forcing a 4th down now. Chance to get their offense back out on the field.
Yeah, with the ball resting at the 33 here. Defenders, no interest in punting. Kiefer's in the shotgun, he'll throw. He's gonna roll to his left, he's pursued by Boblik. He's gonna run out of room, Boblik will chase him out, and it's gonna be turnover on downs. The Red Tornadoes will take over. 1st and 10. Where are they gonna mark this ball, Dan?
I'm thinking right around the 30.
35, I think, right?
4.
Oh, back to the, see, I'm watching the far official. I thought he had the spot.
And he did.
Oh, he did, all right.
You're right. The 30.
34, okay.
He had the 35. This guy decided that, and 34 sounded good to him.
Sounds good to me, too. All right, so let's see here, Dan. Looks like I think we got some new jerseys out there for the Red Tornadoes again. Velasquez, he's in the backfield, number 13. I know he's playing defense. Nope, that's not Velasquez, excuse me. That's Zarsky with the ball. Some nice efforts. There'll be a flag on the Red Tornadoes. But number 40, Thomas Berezovsky, he was the young man in the backfield with Marshalik.
Yeah, I also saw number 54, Caden Hine, out there.
Number 60, Jabari Kynes.
Let's see who else we've got here.
I think that's everybody that's been out there.
Number 50, Zachary Snyder.
Might have been wrong before. 42, Shoppy, who kicked off after the last touchdown. He's out there now.
Yeah, no, we'll see here.
I still see, and we'll talk about this, I think it's worth mentioning. So in the last drive, the Red Tornadoes scored the touchdown. Marshalik to Miller from 35 yards out. And we just got a little note as Wilkowski takes that to the outside. Does a nice job there.
And the flag came with the whistle.
Right.
While the play was still going on. So that was,
yeah.
We're going to see, are they going to call this dead ball and the ref just couldn't get the flag out, or was he a little premature on the whistle?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's whatever it was called against, it was a hold against the Red Tornadoes, so certainly not a pre-snap penalty.
No.
So I think the whistle was just inadvertent.
Yeah, just a little early on that one.
But yeah, we learned Ben Miller, the young man that caught the touchdown pass just a few minutes ago. We got a little connection there, in that he's grandson of Al and Camille Bresci, or old neighbors.
Yeah.
As good of people as you want to meet. So not sure if you're listening or if you're here, guys, but hope all is well. Be proud of your grandson having a heck of a night. Was that Miller on the carry? Nope, excuse me, that's 26, Dietz on the carry. Nice job, gets back near the line of scrimmage.
And Coach Dara doing a good job keeping these guys fresh, rotating guys in and out. A lot of rotation rotation here. Guys coming in, guys coming out.
We'll see here where we are. Marshalik's going to roll, and he's going to throw. It's high for Lukowski. There's another flag on the play.
And what's this one going to be?
Head official Joe Cesare saying, okay, we're going to call this flag. We got to keep that clock moving, too. Tried to give the arm wave to get the clock moving. But then again, it's going to be illegal formation against the Red Tornadoes, illegal motion, technically. And you wonder with these, Dan, as guys are coming in and out, if it's just a matter of you're not lined up right on the line of scrimmage.
You're not set.
You didn't get entirely set right.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's as simple as it can be, but unfortunately it's going to take the Red Tornadoes back another 5 yards here.
Shalik rolls, and this is for Lukowski, and it's caught. Does a good job fighting upfield.
This could be close to the first down,
Yeah,
Jim.
it's going to be.
He might have it.
It's going to be pretty close if he doesn't. They didn't make the signal.
I think he's going to be just short, actually.
It'll be. Oh, but the sticks are moving. Okay, so it was a first down. And I see now Mr. Cesare calling that out. That'll also be the 10th completion, I think,
Yes,
right?
it will be. So let's make that 3 consecutive games.
Keep that streak alive.
3 for 3 this season so far.
And interestingly enough, speaking of 3, the Little Sock Lancers have opened a 3-score lead over the Southern Columbia Tigers. Marshalik's going to be thrown down hard, but he completes the pass.
Yeah, he was thrown down hard, and it looked like that tackle came up very high, but no flag on the play.
I'm trying to say, I think that was the Lukowski again.
I'm not sure. Lukowski and Fesniak were both out there. And 12 and 17 gets a little fuzzy sometimes on the far side of the field.
That's true. But yeah, 27-10 Lancers over the Tigers now.
That's interesting, Jim.
Marshalik to throw again, and it's intercepted. Miscommunication there. It's intercepted by number 11. That's Hunter. Does a nice job there down the sideline. It'll be 1st and 10 defenders with 2:40 left in this one.
Yeah, you're right. That was definitely a miscommunication there. It looked like, you talked about it, Marshall, it looked like he was throwing to a spot, and nobody was home there except for Hunter. Hunter stayed in the spot. But yeah, that Southern Columbia score is something to keep an eye out for. You know, we talked about how tough Loyalsock was last year, and they're just possibly even better this year. We won't see them this year. They're not on the schedule, but that's an interesting game to keep an eye out.
Hand off to number 25, Talon Miller.
It looked like 26, Aiden Dietz on the tackle.
And Dan, again, it's 55-7. There's less than 2 minutes to go in this one, and I've seen maybe 5 people make their way to the exit so far.
Yeah, it's been you're right. Everybody likes to stick around for the ends of these games. Wants to see some. Everybody wants to come down on Friday night. You make the long trip. You want to see it all the way through.
Hand off to the up man. That's Butler, who does a nice job picking up a first down.
Yeah, really nice run there by Butler. See some more rotation there for the Big Red. Good to see 79 Derek Smith get back out there after his injury on the last drive.
Ball sits at the 37 while the clock ticks under 70 seconds. Kiefer, tries to give it to the up man, and you just talked about Smith being back in there, and he blew that one up from the jump, Dan.
Yeah, Jim Smith, he's a junior, 6'2", 260 pounds, and he's not an easy guy to move out of the way if you're trying to run right up the middle there.
And there the defenders felt the consequences of not moving him out of the way.
Yeah, most definitely. He did a really good job of sticking in there, not only clogging up his gap, but also making the play.
So we're under 20 seconds here. This is likely to be the last snap of the night. Kiefer in the shotgun. He's going to throw. And it's going to be intercepted. That's intercepted by number 40, Thomas Berezovsky. He'll return it out across the 35, but it'll end on one more high note for the Red Tornadoes, Dan, as they lock this one up in pretty substantial fashion, 55-7, and move to 3-0 on the season for the first time in Coach Dara's tenure.
Yeah, like you said, one more high note to go along with a busload of high notes that the Red Tornadoes had tonight. They got a lot of guys involved, and they were successful like I said, up and down the depth chart pretty much. The running backs from start to finish did a really good job. All three quarterbacks that took snaps today did an amazing job. And the defense all around, I mean, you give up 7 points in a four-quarter game to any team. Only give up 7 points, that's pretty impressive.
And it was 48. Red Tornadoes had put out 48 before the defenders had answered at all.
Yeah.
So that's always a good start. You know, we like to keep tabs on how these things go down, so we walk through them a little bit. Again, the score started early for the Red Tornadoes. Spears threw a 6-yard touchdown pass to Verano. Yagodinsky kick was good, 7-0 Mount Carmel. Very next drive, Nestico blocks a punt, follows it for about 11 yards, and falls on it in the end zone. Yagodinsky good again to make it 14. There's the 26-yard run by Diaz, and then 2 touchdown passes for Spears. One to Schultz from 17 yards out, one to Chicatano from 5. That stretched it out to 35-0, and we thought that was going to be enough to get us to the half.
Right.
But Verano somehow, and I can't wait to go back and watch the game tape to see how he did it. Verano somehow intercepted a pass that I think must have bounced up off the receiver's shoulder pads or something.
Yeah.
And he returned it for a touchdown. Made it 42-0. It was also the 3rd in his career, tying him with Wally Deal, Ken Diminick, and Bob Zavarik for the most ever by a Red Tornado player. And we went into halftime like that. We came out of the halftime. Zarsky scored first for the Red Tornadoes to make it 48-0, followed by the 1 score from the defenders to make it 48-7, followed by a 35-yard touchdown from Marshalik, 35-yard touchdown pass from Marshalik to Miller, put the Red Tornadoes up 55-7 for our final score.
Yeah, Jim, it was great all around, and the Red Tornadoes did an awesome job. Just like I said, up and down the board. I mean, we saw different guys catching touchdown passes, defensive touchdowns, a special teams touchdown. They won in all facets of the game this week, and they did a really good job up and down the board.
Ooh, as lights come on, it makes me think it's time to go, Dan. So
yeah,
that
I
seems
think so.
That seems pretty reasonable. Again, so it's a great night here at Warrior Run, the Red Tornadoes. Next week we'll have Milton at home. The defenders will travel to Hughesville. Again, just want to thank everybody for listening tonight. It's a big night here. Win number 881 in the long storied history of the Red Tornadoes. So keep tabs on that. Again, thanks to Jose.
Yes.
But speaking of Jose, we're going to get out of here. So I'm Jim Lesko.
And I'm Dan Lesko.
And for Jose Gonzalo, this has been another terrific broadcast by WKMC TV. We're happy you spent your Friday night with us. We hope you do next Friday as well. Want to thank Cinnamon Sticks for their sponsorship. And come hang out with us next week back at the Silver Bowl versus Milton. Thanks and good night.